If sight, association, and intercourse are removed, the passion of love is ended. Epicurus. You do not need to have sex. Sex is a purely Dionysian desire that is only meant to propagate life. Love is a purely Dionysian desire that is only meant to propagate life. The reason why you feel love in the first place, the reason why you find yourself sacrificing so much of what you care about, of who you are, is in order to propagate life. The only reason you go through these things, the only reason you feel the pain of rejection, the only reason you seek more from love is to propagate life. If you were not able to see that a woman's body was fit to mate with, that they were able to have the best children, if you did not have the element of intercourse that would allow you to feel the pleasure of creating a new child chemically, if you did not have the association of being able to see yourself as a better person within the group, to have a higher status within that group by having a wife, then there would be zero love. The reason these brain chemicals are triggered is because it wants you to have more children. The oxytocin that is triggered when you are in love deliberately makes it to where your critical thinking is less good. We always see it with people who are in love with each other, that they end up saying all these things of like, oh, of course it's gonna work, you know, I love them so much. And then, you know what happens? 5 months later, the entire thing falls apart based on fundamental differences that could have been seen there from the beginning if they just looked at it with logic. And so, love is a weakness because it leads to pain, and the only benefit of that love is to create more people, which we already have way too many of. So, is there a way to be happy without these things? Yes, because you can be happy through your own will. If you simply create something that you are proud of, if you simply continue working on yourself and your own internal philosophy to the point of no return, then you will eventually create the ideal self. You can find pride and happiness within your life from being the ideal self. You can find pride and happiness within your life by filling it with the things that make you the most happy, by filling it with constant goals that you are working towards. And so, do you need sex? No, you do not. If you really get that horny, you can just jack off, don't think about it, and then move on. Those romantic feelings that you receive from looking at other people are nothing but a cowardly weakness. If you overcome it, you will be stronger than you could possibly imagine. That relying on those other people to give you pleasure will ultimately, in the long run, only bring you more pain. If you do not rely on those other people and rather rely on your own will, your own self, then you can receive that happiness. We see many people who are hermits professionally for their own religion, and they come out on top. They come out being able to be the best person that they can be and getting the most out of life that they can, even though they've dedicated their entire self to what is, to most people, a strange goal that no one cares about in a dark cave without the sun. And yet those people come out extremely strong, extremely well. It was because they used the power of their will and the power of their own ideals to overcome humanity. You can be no longer human if you just try hard enough. Sex is going to waste your time. You don't need it. Put that time towards developing yourself into the greatest person you can be. Put that time towards developing your ideals, towards becoming the best.